The Great Stupa of Universal Compassion cuts an impressive figure across the bushy landscape of Myers Flat, on the site of the old Sandhurst Town tourist attraction, just a short drive from central Bendigo. At the centre of the 210-acre site, the stupa is a Buddhist monument of enormous proportions that sits alongside a small monastery and Buddhist teaching centre.
Stupas were initially built to bury relics. So it's how they were made initially. They put relics inside and have a mound of earth around it. And then little by little it became an architectural structure. So more and more things added to it later on.
The idea to build a stupa came in 1981 when a visiting Tibetan Buddhist teacher saw the building in a vision. Lama Yeshe drew a picture of the structure in the sand with a stick and entrusted his vision to the owner of the land and devoted Buddhist Ian Green. Ian took responsibility for the vision, not knowing that he would still be working on the project more than 3 decades later. It wasn't until the year 2003 that the first foundations were laid. 12 years and $10 million later, the stupa is still far from complete.
It's the first question everyone asks me about the stupa. When will it be finished? And my answer to them is, well, it depends what you mean by finished. If you mean the actual external shape of it, we're only looking about 2 or 3 years, I think, for that to happen. But then if you mean all the 80 shrine rooms on all the levels, on all the statues and all the frescoes and everything completed in each of those rooms, the library completed, etc., etc. To be honest, I won't see it in my lifetime. I keep reminding myself and the people who are here working alongside me that we're building, it's like a cathedral in medieval Europe, that took 100 years to build, and this is very much along the same lines. It's going to be a work in progress, in terms of completing the Great Stupa and all the artwork and decoration, I think for many, many years.
But how does a project of this magnitude get the funds it needs to keep going?
It's going to cost about $20 million when we complete the whole project, but right now it costs us about nearly $10 million. We have Jade Buddha statue touring around the world since 2009, generating us funds, and other things we apply for a lot of grants and funding. From the offcuts of the boulder we carved the statue, we made jade jewelry. So wherever we take the statue, we sell them. And then we have other people coming here to buy those jade statues, and people come here to see the stupa, they give us donations. So that's how we mainly raise funds to build this building.
This Jade Buddha statue is a colossal project in its own right.
When Ian got to know about this Jade Buddha statue, it was about 2004, 2003, that area. And then he found out about this big boulder of jade found in Canada. And then Ian went to see the boulder, and then they bought this boulder and took it to Thailand and carved a big statue out of it, and took about 5 years to get the exact same shape of the statue which is now, because our spiritual director, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, he advised on what is the shape of the statue he wants to look like, because the statue what we have now is based on the statue they have in Bodh Gaya in India where Buddha became enlightened. So based on that statue. So to get the exact features, exact look, took 5 years they had to make so many models.
Once the Jade Buddha was completed in 2009, it began an international tour to spread Buddhist values of peace, but also to raise revenue for the Great Stupa.
So it's going to travel for tour for another 5 years at least, before it comes back here to find a resting place in Bendigo.
Grants and funding for cultural festivals also make minor contributions to the expense, as well as donations from tourists who come to see the stupa and the visitors centre, which houses holy relics. But there's more to this vision than meets the eye. As grand and as impressive as the stupa is, it is only one part of a much larger vision for the site. The plan is for a whole community to be built around the stupa, an aged care facility, a museum, a primary school, a vegetarian restaurant, a hotel, a housing development and a park.
Well, what we're trying to create here with the whole development in Bendigo is, if you like, a little Buddhist city. So right in the middle is the Great Stupa.
Construction will start on residential blocks this year, with 30 people on the waiting list for new homes.
Everyone asks me, why is this being built in Bendigo? You know, when I go to Melbourne or Sydney or Singapore or wherever, they say, why in Bendigo? And the answer to that is that, well, first of all, my family offered the land here, but then it was Lama Yeshe's vision when he came here in 1981. He laid out this master plan, which you see in the model, and it's also exactly what we're putting together piece by piece and have been doing for over 30 years. I think in terms of what it means to Bendigo long run, I just don't think people, any of us really, have got any idea of the scale of it.